first, happy Wednesday. In the studio live, I'm Edward Grisham.
I'm Clark Gilbert. This week we got the scores and stats for the fantasy football game. I'm sure you had no idea they were going on. To start off our show, we brought in our fantasy football expert, Raleigh Stahl, to help explain to some of y'all what fantasy football is really about. So Raleigh?
Fantasy football is a way for people who aren't really athletic to pretend like they are.
Thanks for that wonderful insight, Raleigh.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the time you've all been waiting for. We're going to break down the games from this week, along with the scores and the standings, coming right at you. Looking at our early games for today, Team Broforce beat the Hollerin' Heretics 98-55, with Rogers adding 24 points and David Wilson dropping -3 points. That's what you get for being on the Giants, David. The Fighting Okra crushed the St. Louis Suns this week, 154-94. The Okra had an all-around performance from all their players, with Eli dropping 28, Peterson dropping 28, and Antoine Bolden, the old guy, even adding 26. For the Suns, Demarius Thomas had the high man with 28 points. Another game on the schedule was Balso Hard University beating Team Snow 108-85. Victor Cruz, the Giants receiver for Balso Hard, put in 29 points, but was not enough to beat the Cowboys on Sunday night, which is what really matters. And for Team Snow, he had Drew Brees give him 20 points, but the rest of his team didn't show up. They provided low numbers for him.
Our next game is Team Darnell losing 117-124 to Team Paris. Team Paris, the big man A.J. Green smoking the Chicago defense for 28 points. Kaepernick and Jordy Nelson, high numbers weren't enough to beat Team Paris. Our next game, Hungry Hippos beating Team Miller 101-94. Matthew Stafford with a solid 20 points for Hungry Hippos. LaShawn McCoy with 24 points for Miller, but was not enough to beat the Hungry Hippos. And last but not least, our last game, the Elijah's Bears and Gluteus Maximus, our closest game in the Fantasy League, with a score of 93-90 for the Bears. Peyton Manning with his 7-touchdown performance got him 46 points. Cowboy Steve for Gluteus Maximus scored 21 points, but that will not beat Peyton Manning's 7 touchdowns ever.
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, folks. We have our highlight of the day, so check it out.
Years ago, we talked to Tom Moore, then at Indianapolis, the offensive coordinator. You got a busted play here, and then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose, and it's alive. And then going into the end zone is Steve Gregory, who's had an interception, 2 fumble recoveries.
Tune in next week to find out if the St. Louis Suns are going to win a game this year.
Thanks again, folks. Join us next week, and don't forget, like us on Facebook.